What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here to talk about Young Bands and Playboi Carti. Now, although Young Bands and Playboi Carti kind of recently collabed again and then went on to beef, there is a long history of the two kind of beefing and collabing again that I think some of the newer fans might not know about, so I'm going to dive in, get really deep into some Carti history right here, which features people like Funi, Mexikodro, Milanmakesbeats, etc, etc. Let's get into it.
Switching up flows, what a whip, yeah. Who is that? Baby like, yo, that goes through. Yeah. Baby like, that goes through. There they go, nigga. Baby like, that goes through.
And first of all, straight off the bat, big shout out to the live stream fam. I literally just went live. Comment down below if you're a part of that. If you guys don't know when I go live, make sure to hit the notification bell to stay tapped in. Also, at yadiiiigg, go follow your boy. You guys know what's going on. At yadiiiigg, make sure to. But let's get started with this. Now, this is super interesting, and this is a story I've been wanting to tell for a while as well. I just haven't gotten around to it. Okay, so the Bands and Carti relationship starts with 4tspoon. Now, 4tspoon is a really old song. It's one of Carti's best features in my opinion, and you guys need to go listen to it if you haven't after this video. Anyways, so this track gets released, and it's important to say that this put Young Bands on the map. Some of you might not know, but back then Bands wasn't really well known at all. As soon as he got that Carti feature, because Carti was really hot, it really kind of put him on that SoundCloud map. But importantly though, it kind of came to light thanks to Thouxanbanfuni back in 2018 that apparently Young Bands never paid Carti for the feature.
That beef you had with Young Bands, you ain't even want that nigga on the 4 tablespoon shit. You talking about, bro, this nigga ain't even pay me for the feature for the 4 tablespoon shit, right? So you calling me, bro? Let's pull up and edit nigga shit out.
Obviously, not paying for a feature is not a good move and not something I would suggest, especially if the artist you're paying the feature for is bigger than you. Anyway, so this kind of starts a little rift in the relationship for obvious reasons. Now, the next thing to tie in is the Mexikodro and Milanmakesbeats beef. Now, Mexikodro, OG Carti producer, produced Carti cult classics like Broke Boy, Money Counter, etc, etc. And the Milanmakesbeats might not be as familiar, but in the lead up to Self-Titled and around that 2016-2017 era, he was working with Carti quite a bit until they started to beef. He produced yadiiiigg among some other Carti tracks. Now, why I bring this up is because it then comes to light that Milanmakesbeats and Mexikodro both have beef with Carti around the same time for the same thing. So this happened just before Self-Titled with Mexikodro, where he said on Twitter, quote, "Take my shit off. I told you I ain't fucking with you like that, bruh." Now, this is a whole other story and a whole other video. I'm gonna delve into that another time, but let's move on to Milanmakesbeats because this is so important. So this is kind of the news that came out. Playboi Carti denies stealing beats from producers. I don't do janky business. So essentially what happened here is Milan kind of accused Carti of stealing his production and not giving him credit. As you can see, he produced yadiiiigg right here. Milan also went onto Twitter to say, quote, "When you ask for fair compensation and credit for your work," where he got blocked by Carti. And then also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but it's super important to say Milan and Bands during this era were very tight. Milan admittedly has really good production, and Bands really flows well over his style, so they were working together a lot at that time. Then comes out these DMs between Carti and Milan, which are kind of a little bit funny in retrospect. "You a bitch. I can't wait to catch y'all slipping. Don't drop shit with me on your shit on everything. I'll fight you. I will have people at your house today. Try me. I'm in the UK. I'm bored. I'll gladly set your ass up. Fuck you and Young Band's pussy." Now, how Young Bands also ties into this, if you read this again right here, "Don't drop shit with me on your shit." This is in reference to a song called Butterfly Coupe, which features Playboi Carti and Young Bands. And basically what happened here is Milan released this song without Carti's permission. He got the verse at the time period where they were fucking with each other, then they kind of beefed, etc, etc. Then Milanmakesbeats basically just put out the track without Carti's permission, and as you see right here, Carti wasn't fucking with it. Okay, so a quick update check just to loop this all together. So they collab together in 4tspoon. Funi says he didn't pay for the feature. Then the whole producer situation goes down, which ties in Young Bands, and then Butterfly Coupe, the song leaks. Now that's kind of like the story up until 2017, and then after that period, we never really heard of the beef again. Now this brings us to this session right here between Playboi Carti and Young Bands inside the studio, which showed that they were working together on a song now we know as High As Us. Now unfortunately, what would end up happening is the song would eventually come to leak, yadiiiigg. This is a really fire song, by the way. Let me know in the comments, by the way, Hire Us or 4tspoon. For myself, 4tspoon still rings off today. I've got to go with that. But Hires Us is still pretty good. Anyway, so the song leaks, and of course, Bands is mad, Bands gets angry, etc, etc. Bands actually threatened to quit music for some reason because of this. Of course, that wasn't true. But then Bands, still in his feelings, goes on Instagram to say that he's gonna replace Carti on the song with Uzi.
I'm taking Carti off hiatus and Uzi getting on.
That's just some lame shit off top, but that kind of like sparked up the beef between the two again. Then this brings us to today, and then this is so funny. So shout out Meme Academics. They kind of expose young Bands in a way for trying to like sabotage Carti or trying to like do some really weird shit in regards to memes. So basically what happens here is Bands kind of DMs these meme pages and Meme Academics and a few people in this situation to try to promote his music through these meme pages. As you can see right here, he says, can you make a version of the same Carti meme with his part plagiarism? So with this one right here, it's a Young Bands and Carti song playing in the background, and Young Bands is trying to suggest that he carried Carti on the song. It's kind of lame, but at the same token, like, I get this is kind of what you have to do in this era to kind of get popping. You want to get on these meme pages, etc, etc. And not only this, it also came out that he was asking other meme pages to do the exact same thing as well, and kind of spew on this narrative that he carried Carti, which of course in the hip-hop culture is kind of like a sneak diss, because if you carried someone, that kind of suggests their part was worse than yours, etc, etc. And then in the context of this whole situation where he apparently replaced Carti on the song with Uzi, it kind of just fuels on that beef narrative that at this stage, Bands definitely has an issue with Carti. It seems likely that the collaboration is not going to come out officially. I guess hopefully we get Uzi on it. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, at this stage, that's kind of like the full history there. It's really interesting as well because 4tspoons, as I said, one of my favorite Carti verses ever. And then from there, we've seen them collab beef back and forth. Hopefully we get more collabs from them in the future, because it's not like Young Bands isn't fire. Young Bands has some heat music. Hopefully he really glows up this year and really has hits, etc, etc. I've always been a huge fan of Bands ever since I heard that 4tspoon song. But yeah, in this case, I must admit, he kind of comes across looking like a bit of a lame, especially with that whole meme page shit. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And before we finish this video, guys, I want to give a couple quick shout outs from the Instagram. Big shout outs goes to Alex_Clam4th, and as well as this Nayal_Oshaya. Much appreciated to you two for following me over on my IG. If you don't follow your boy at yadiiiigg, make sure to go show me some love over there. Much appreciated. Also, shout out to the live stream gang again. Turn on notifications to know when I go live. Also, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good YouTube stuff, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.